All right, 5 after 5 on a Friday. Let's hit the books here alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Joey Knish, producer extraordinaire, Zach Phillips. I'm merely Brad Powers. Before we get to the very active chat, I see you guys were in here a few hours early asking the questions. Before we get to all the big games as far as the week 10, yeah, that's right, week 10 of college football, tomorrow's nice slate of games. Let me remind everybody that Hit the Books is brought to you by BetStamp. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to use multiple sports books and always get the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book for games, futures, and player props. You can save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. Download the app today if you're looking to sign up for a new sportsbook account. Please check out the offers available at betstamp.app/hitthebooks, or you can hit the link in the description. If you sign up through this page, it helps support the show. Make sure you're hitting that like button. I know we got a lot of viewers here. Let's get the likes up today so I'm not interrupting the middle of this and asking for some likes here. Knish, what's happening, man? What's the word there in the land of the maize and blue?
Well, I'm about to go down to my local FBI office here in Detroit and make sure that I don't know how many Day brothers there are, but they're all going to be in Fulton County here pretty soon. If this info, which I'm trusting to be 100% legitimate, is correct here. So what a circus. Just the story that keeps on giving. I will say there's no boring days in this Connor Stallions drama. So, but it'll be good to get the actual. I would tell you, this might be. There was already. This is going on the message board. Maybe the biggest. Maybe the saltiest Michigan-Ohio State game in the history of the rivalry, with some of the back and forth going on this one. So, but first, we got some games this week, baby. Week 10. Yeah. I don't know where Connor Stallions is, like an FBI witness protection. Nobody knows where he is. Nobody can get a hold of him. So. Yeah, I hope he died. Nobody check at Joey K's house. So, but yeah, it's week 10 already, baby. But let's go.
Sure. Nicholas in the chat. Kent State on Wednesday. Ooh, that was rough. I was a person with a +3.5 ticket. My apologies for your loss. Appreciate the Wake Forest Toledo plays. Toledo almost gave that up. Oof, that wouldn't have been good.
Been another one. Yeah.
There's one oof I see somebody put in the chat over under 4.5 for today's show. So you got one. I know they weren't official plays, but I bet on them because of you guys. All right. Thanks, Nicholas. We did all right with those midweek MAC games, and we will talk midweek MAC games. I know there's a lot of questions in the chat for those look ahead lines. Let's just get to it. RW Fan 23, he was looking for them early. What MACtion look ahead lines do you like? Quite a bit. I mean, you asked for the order the other night, and I gave it to you. Almost every single game I thought was off a little bit, and that's who I am. I just think if it's off a point and a half, I'm going to bet it. So if you want to pull those up, Zach, go to FanDuel, scroll all the way down on the game schedule. It should have the 4 or 5 MAC games that are next week. Should have them up, and we can run through them. I don't know if they changed after Knish was jamming kiosk there at the local FanDuel shop there in Detroit. So
yeah, they national market. Some of these got beat up pretty good after they I think they realized I was there, and then there's some aggressive moves on them. But I still think there's some positions there if Zach can pull them up that are worth a little bite at the apple. I would just hit on the Kent State one. I tell you what, I doubled. This was a Joey K double. I went back for some more 4.5. I know we were on 3.5 last week. Just brutal not to cash all the numbers. I will say I had a little the Kent State under season win total that
franchise, right?
Life now. One that Zach pulls these up. One that's on a few other places. Miami +14 look ahead versus Florida State. I don't know how I can listen unless Tyler Van Dyke is really not, and we'll find out tonight. Unless he's really not right, I can't get to 14 in that game. So that's the one look ahead that's not on FanDuel that I played. So Miami 14, that's still there at a couple places, namely DraftKings. We'll give it that's at DraftKings right now. I like the full 14 there with Miami. Hey, maybe NC State, they beat him tonight. You get a better number. But
take him down?
That is at that.
I not see him. All right, I got him here on my app, so I'll go through them.
That one's at DK, not
Okay.
the FanDuel one, the Miami one. That's the one
I didn't
played
see
today
Mac
that-
games. Zach just scrolled through them. It wasn't showing up the Mac games there. That looked like it was FanDuel, but I got him up here. Western Michigan Central. We laid 3. It's now 5. Pass. That's kind of where I was at least 4.5 there. I think Western Michigan will take money in the marketplace on that one. Northern Illinois, we laid 8.5. We were on the favorite there. It's 10.5. Can't lay 10.5 now. That one I made it right around 10. Ohio, we laid 5.5. Another favorite, 7. That's what I made it. Akron, Miami, Ohio, we laid 15.5. It's now 17.5. You did move all these, man. I would not lay 17.5. That's about where I made it. We laid 6.5 with BG. It's now 9.5. A little bit. I'd still lean over. Now, I told you
I agree.
39.5 is pretty low. Now, obviously, we're talking a week ahead, and anything can happen in Mac country when it comes to weather. But some of these were priced too low as far as the totals. Over 39.5 lean BG, Kent State there as far as the over. What was the other one I gave you? I thought I gave you 2. Was it Northern Illinois, Ball State?
It was the CMU Western total. That one, that's a pretty a lot too.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, guys. I don't see one that's super attractive there now. We blew. Blame it on Knish. He was the one that ran down
this was a Joey K's fault here for this one. That I got the flag went up and they knew who it was, and then all these moved pretty aggressively. So.
But Miami, look ahead. Miami plus 14 at Florida State. That's RW fan in the chat. Ole Miss at Georgia. Georgia minus 12. I need to see the 2 teams' data points this week. I mean, keep in mind, we don't have a lot of great data points on Georgia, just a few. I mean, with every one, I like seeing that. And Ole Miss, very intriguing game against A&M. Early thoughts there. That seems about right to me. I do agree with Knish that 14 is way too many. I actually bet that game in the summer. I took Miami against Florida State. Kentucky 10 against Bama.
I'd still play 13.5 there too. So the 14's gone, the 13.5. Zach flashed it on screen. I'm still. Yeah. The only way that I don't think that closes good and potentially significantly good is if Tyler Van Dyke is not right. Miami's in a game tonight, or loses tonight, or that type. But I laid some Miami this week, and I hope Van Dyke's okay.
There you go. Kentucky 10, Bama sounds right. Arizona 6 at Colorado. We're going to be talking about Colorado. I want to be on the fade train on the Buffaloes. So Arizona minus 6, I think it's okay there. Yeah, I mean, a little pricey, but anything under a touchdown, I think Arizona's clearly superior. Tennessee 1 in Missouri. That's about right where I made that one. So, again, need to see Missouri this week. Nothing seems too far off other than the Miami game there. Let's get it going for this week. Tucker in the chat. Oklahoma State, Kansas State moneyline parlay. Where are you at on that one? A lot of people love Oklahoma State and Kansas State this week.
I would lean a little bit more on the Kansas State side of things. I am not there with Oklahoma State, and I know they've been on a great run and a great turnaround, and people are going to say, "Oh, Joey K, play the Gundy clip again," because I buried him before the season, and now he's him. I just think this is a little too much respect for an Oklahoma State defense that I don't think is very good. I think there's quite a delta between these 2 teams. Did I lay Oklahoma? No, I didn't, but I don't. I think Oklahoma wins the game, so they're not one of the money line, round robin looks that I was looking for this week. Kansas State, I'm a little bit more intrigued there. I know that's taken some real sharp play around the market. It's been hit a few times. I just think maybe Malik Murphy, and he didn't look particularly great last week in terms of, listen, Kleinman, this Kansas State program has been outperforming their talent level going back to Bill Snyder for 30 years from what you want on a braiding. So, yeah, that would be the lean for me. I didn't actually get involved in either of these games significantly, though. But I know Kansas State took some serious sharp money. The over in Oklahoma had some good sharp money on it. Those are the 2 positions that I saw out there in the market. But I haven't actually gotten very invested in these 2. You?
I lean towards Oklahoma. It just seems like a buy low, sell high spot. Buy low, Oklahoma off the loss to Kansas. Sell high, Oklahoma State off 4 straight wins and covers. So lean Oklahoma. Played the under in the Texas-Kansas State game. I think both teams' defenses will have success. I understand why Kansas State's a sharp side there, but under for me in that one. Desert Rat in the chat. Any thoughts on tonight's game? Colorado State, Wyoming game tonight. I don't know. The weather is the weather going to be as bad as expected? I saw a little bit of over money came in today.
Yeah, I saw that too. There was initial Colorado State move, some Wyoming buyback. Is Castellanos for? I've been meaning to check.
I think he's going to play. I heard word that Schrader's banged up for Syracuse.
Yeah, and if I haven't seen if Castellanos goes for BC, to be honest with you, I don't want any part of Syracuse. I know like they should be a little bit healthier from some of the stuff going on, and Schrader been dealing with that. I haven't gotten particularly. I know there was some initial BC money, but I don't really have a too strong of an opinion on either of these games. And let me see what we played for the old high school Ivy here. Did you get anything on the FCS side tonight?
Yeah, I've got one that moved against me. I played a little Dartmouth as a home underdog. A market at +1. I think, what is it, +2 now? So the rare time where the market moved against me on an FCS game. I don't like Princeton this year. They've been a little bit better the last couple of weeks, but I know Dartmouth, obviously, Buddy Tevens, got hurt earlier this year and they ended up dying from complications. So they got an interim coach, but I think Dartmouth here. Nothing wild like play of the week material.
Yeah, no, that was a small play on the over 34.5. There's still some 34.5 out there. But it was.
Did you get anything on the side? Or who's betting Princeton?
No, I don't have anything on the side.
Okay.
So, yeah, just a little small edge on the over. So not much on the Friday Night Ivy.
Yeah, it's interesting because Princeton for several weeks was played against majorly in the marketplace. They were one of like 5 or 6 teams that 3-4 points a week played against. They have been better recently, but Dartmouth for me there. BC, I like BC outright tonight. I think Syracuse done. Fold the tents on their season. I saw what I needed to see last week against Virginia Tech. That was ridiculous, pathetic. Desert Rat again in the yeah, it's intriguing. I'm hearing so many different things. So, man, if I knew 100% that Castellanos was going to play, I mean, I'm totally all in. I've heard whispers that I don't like there. So we'll see. Even then, I still wouldn't, say, take Syracuse. That's how much I hate the Orange right now. Desert Rat in the chat. Have you heard anything on Ashton Genty? I am not. Have you? Boise State isn't much without him. Well, that would be true, but Halani's healthy now. So that helps him a little bit. We see nothing but Boise money. I'm part of it. You watch the Monday morning show, 3.5. It's through 3. That's the whole point of the show right there. Now we got to cash. We got to get to the window on that one. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything definitively that he's going to play. Have you?
No, I have not seen an update on that one. But I agreed with your early play though, and it is. I mean, I've been saying on this show, harping on that. I don't think this year's Fresno team is particularly good. And I think Boise State head to head is a better team than Fresno. And when you're giving out that gave 3.5, you're getting the better team with more than a field goal there. So yeah, Genty or no Genty, I think the play that was definitely the right side, and the markets agreed.
Yeah, Austin in the chat, and he plays on ULM Southern Miss. The 3 times for me with ULM. I did not play that game side or total. No interest for me. Did you bet it?
Knew there was a sharp group on Southern Miss at under 3, at the full 3, probably about right there. I chased a little bit of Southern Miss, but nothing significant. Think that's kind of right where it should be now.
Yeah, Southern Miss has been one of the most disappointing teams in the entire country. I saw, this is how my season's gone. I think I saw a win total like over 3.5. I'd say, that's off at least 2 wins. I'm gonna freaking lose. I mean, that's how the season's gone. I think it closed like 5.5. I'm gonna lose 2 wins. That's like 280 cents on the dollar. No chance. Drunk Driver, H3 in the chat. Thoughts on Louisiana, Arkansas State? Yeah, this is one of the biggest moves last 24 hours. A lot of money. I wish I was a part of it. I definitely think that's the right side. It was sitting there at 9. I was hoping, hey, is this going to tick up to 10? And then it was going to be the old tout service on Arkansas State. But that money came in twice in waves. Came in, went down to 8, and then it came in hot and heavy today. Do you agree with that? ULL did upset South Alabama last week, but that was very misleading.
Yeah, I agree with it, and I, like you, got a little greedy there in the cookie jar, thinking, the market could get us to a 10. Didn't end up on the first move, and then the corresponding move there. So yeah, I agree with the move. I just wish I would have gotten in a little earlier in the bank. I still would lean that way at 7.5.
If anybody's in Vegas, it'll probably be on the Golden Nugget contest sheet for me as far as the stale line. So that'll probably make the cut there. Charles Saul in the chat. Seems like Harbaugh may lay an all-time beat down on Purdue this week. Agree or disagree? Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, the market agrees there. That's why it's 32.5. I don't think there's great value, but if you ask me which way I would bet, I would lay the points here. What say you?
I'm in that boat too. Of it's another regret one that I wish I would have gotten. When it was trading around 31, would feel better there. Now 32.5, 33. So I haven't laid it. I could probably only lay it though. It's tough to see, and I know you can get on the narratives and stuff. Either well, they don't have the signals, or Michigan's going to beat them down because they want to prove a point. But the fact of the matter is that I just don't like Purdue. Just has no skill talent whatsoever, and so it's been a real slog. I mean, a rough performance last week at a Nebraska team that's significantly worse on both sides of the ball than Michigan. So maybe I'm having some taste in my mouth after that Purdue game last week, but it's just not much there for me to think they can get to. They probably need to get to 14 to cover this. What's that? So I know, and listen, I know some people on the over in this game. So
yeah. Can't wait to lose that one. I took 45.5. Can't wait to lose with 7 points there. I will say, whenever you got big favorite, what's the motivation for margin? I think we saw it. They scored with 6 seconds left against Michigan State. They're going to pour it on. I'm happy to see it too. I'm rooting for it. I hope they kill everybody the rest of the schedule, including the Buckeyes. Charles Saul in the chat. Thoughts on the Texas State move today? Yeah, that's intriguing. That's one that I don't necessarily buy. Do you? Are you part of this Texas State money here? I'm not buying it.
No, but got the word that was a pretty respected group moving on that. For the late week move, I joined in a bit, but not again. There's nothing too significant. I'm surprised it got up to the point now where I think it didn't. I saw 2.5 flashing at the respected shops. I don't think it ever got to 3. I'm of that opinion where I tell you, I would definitely be a buyer of Georgia Southern at 3. I don't know if it gets there, but that's when I'm going to have my eye on, where if I can get a full 3 at any point, I would be in your camp there of wanting to back the Eagles with a field goal.
Yeah, with the exception of last week, Texas State gets money like this almost every week. I mean, they're much improved. They're way better than I even anticipated, but I don't know. They're starting to play some better teams in that conference. We'll see. Now, that was misleading last week. They probably didn't deserve to lose by 18 against a good Troy team. Garrett in the chat. We talked about this one. BC, wrong team favored. Yeah, BC for us. Ronnie in the chat. Brad, need your opinions on 2 games. Why not Knish? I mean, he's just as good, if not better than me. Brad, need your opinions on 2 games. Kansas, Iowa State, Stanford, Washington State total over. Iowa State, honestly, you have to play it situationally. Kansas off a generational type win. Iowa State's been better than expected. Win, get the bowl eligibility. Iowa State for me there. Although I need 2.5. I don't want to lay 3.
Agreed.
Got to lay 2.5. So if you can't get 2.5, no. It's priced. That situation is priced in then at that 3. Stanford, Washington total over. I think there's a little bit of weather. I didn't get there on that one.
No, I didn't get that. Get there either, and I have not been, afraid to back Stanford, even though they were able to score on Washington. They kind of did some change up with the pace there in terms of Stanford. So I'm a little, and I know Washington State has been such a enigma in terms of whether their offense works or not. So I didn't get there on either one of those. I agree with though. I would stay under 3, but if you got one of the select few places that are still left, that would be the play there.
Charles in the chat. Anything for the total in the final Bedlam? Criminalist game isn't at night. A little bit over money came in today. I don't know. Are you agree with that?
Yeah, you know what? I agreed with it. Now it's mostly 62 flat out there. I know there was some, 60 and 60.5 got bet up. I'm kind of neutral now at 62.
Go right back to Charles. You guys have a take on Joey's Blazers playing the Owls this week? I'm back in Dilfer to get the win this week. This is an intriguing one. Keeps flipping back and forth. Favorite.
Yeah, there's both sides.
Yeah. I'm on UAB. Are you?
Yeah, I like that. I think UAB gets it done this week, and this is one that I think is still in the playable range here. If you want to best bet,
best bet UAB
plus one. Yep, I'm in there.
I like they're off a bye. I like that with first year coaches. Kind of a reset. They get the quarterback back who missed last week's game. That was a misleading final in that game against Memphis. So and FAU's kind of been Jekyll and Hyde. They're off a good performance, so they're probably due for a little step down. UAB, like it, plus one. Boom. Best bet. First one of the show, 26 minutes in. 21 minutes. Knish was late. My apologies. Garrett Watkins in the chat. Thoughts on road favorites? Tulane, Florida State, Auburn. I'm not wild about any of them. I wanted to bet Florida State. Just
so
too pricey. Came too high. Tulane, my power rankings like ECU. Tulane hasn't been getting margin. Look at these 3-4 games against like North Texas, UAB. There's another game in there that they're just not getting any margin here. Rice last week and won by 2. Auburn, I can't lay points to that offense. I think Vanderbilt's a piece of crap, but I can't lay that kind of number with Auburn on the road. Did you bet any of these?
No, I didn't get that. I really was like, I came in thinking was going to bet Florida State at almost any price with some of the Narduzzi comments and how Pitt looked. I can't get to 21.5. And you know what? I saw some just I think people, playing a little number were just buying up some of the hooks there on 21. So yeah, I couldn't get there on it, to be honest with you. And this team is I might actually play some Vandy at I'm close on 13, to be honest.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I really want to pull the trigger, but I'm in terms of though, like I'm not gonna play ECU, I'm not gonna play Pitt. The Vandy is one where you might actually get me to the window there. I haven't fired yet, but I tell you what, if I can get even a cheap 13, or even if somebody creeps to a juicier 14, I might be in there.
Good luck to you, sir. One cover on the season.
Thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Yeah, I see it. Auburn, doesn't give you a lot of confidence. Vandy's beat up a little bit though. Garrett also in the chat. Too many points. West Virginia, Miami. West Virginia took a lot of steam. Number one, Market hates BYU. Then number 2, Keaton Slovis ain't playing. Although I'll say this, I'm not too confident laying that number now with West Virginia. I wouldn't be running the window there.
No.
Miami, sharp group. Couple sharp groups on Miami there, including Knish.
Yeah, I liked Miami quite a bit early. I'm going to be honest with you. I still think even I would lean that way at 6. I'm not going to, we're not going to do best bet or anything at 6 now that the number's steamed, but I still think they cover.
Head to head? 6?
Oh, you going Wolfpack here at 6?
Yeah, I'll go Wolfpack.
Yeah, let's do a little head to head there.
All right, head to head. There you go, Zach. Some head to head. I'll take 6. All right. I don't like either team, to be honest with you. I think they're both extremely overrated. But I understand why Miami money showed. Did you guys flip the favorite in San Marcos? Knish is part of the group that did. But we just talked about that one. No, there will be some buyback if it touches 3. Yep. Chris in the chat, Kansas +3 against Iowa State. No, I think that line's right. We like Iowa State there at under 3. Nebraska and Michigan State. Did you play anything here? I didn't do anything side or total in this game. I think 3.
I haven't yet. I tell you, I think I'm gonna take some Nebraska money line before post. This is one that but was kind of waiting to see where the market drove it, and I kind of say this week in some games, though some of these lower total Big Ten games, I prefer laying access to some places that give you a little cheaper price on the money line if you wait till Saturday, and that's what I prefer to do over laying the 3. So I'll be on Nebraska to win there, but I haven't laid it yet, and I would prefer that over laying the 3 points.
Do anything with total? Seems a little low, but I get it. It's Big Ten West. Nebraska, but 34.5. Oof, that's low.
I would agree with you though. I could only play over there.
Yeah, I didn't play it though. I'm not running the one to play. It just seemed that to me is like 2.5 points too low. Air Force Army total. I've done anything here. Market, obviously, from Circa's opener, loves the under. I did play Army, though, just out of, got to play it. You got a total, it's 32. You got more than a 3-possession dog, 17 plus points. Got to play Army. I don't query stuff up and trends and stuff much anymore like I used to, but I haven't queried this up. I looked at how do double-digit underdogs do with a total of 40 or less. It's like 58%. Then I tightened it up a little bit. How do 14-plus point underdogs do with a total of 37 or less? It's like 68%. How do 17-point underdogs do with a total of 34 or less? It's like 75%. And this has never happened at FBS versus FBS game. As far as this big of an underdog with this low of a total, it's got to play Army. Did you thought Tout Service played Army? Did you follow me on that one or no?
The dog loves the troops. Yeah, you know what? I bet I agree with you.
Yeah, I like that.
In this one, you know what? Not a massive play, but I also played some. And you know what? There was a group, and one of my guys also played over at 31.5, and some of those are still trading out there. So, yeah, and again, that's been a horrid bet over the years. If you look back, I will say they're a little bit of tweak in terms of just the way, like I don't think and it's funny because Air Force Navy went, way under there and was barely, getting over 20 points. But Army's obviously tweaked it a little bit in terms of how they play. I think you can see a little bit more pace sometimes in these games. So, I listen, played a little bit of over, joined you on some Army. Neither I would consider like, massive plays or bangers or any of that.
Fair enough. David in the chat, best way to get involved, LSU, Bama, and Clemson, Notre Dame. I lean both dogs. Where are you at?
Oh, I found a Bama 2.5. I got in there. As I said, I told on Monday show, nobody wants to hear. I played some, LSU game of the years at a few prices. Bought some back on Bama at 2.5.
There it is. At your favorite book in New Jersey.
Hey, at the trade. Now it was not -127 when I played it, but I kind of the money lines are pretty expensive now too. I know there was some cheaper stuff out there. Been trading back and forth, but lean that way. Nothing passionate though. I will. Oh, there's what, Zach. See what's out there for Jaden Daniels rushing yardage. This is one I think it got beat up, but I'm going to see what's available out there. Maybe a early Joey props. I played this. Now I will say, I played this at. It was higher than this. We won't give it as official Joey props. I still like under here.
That's with keep in mind sacks go into it.
Yeah,
he's facing Dallas Turner and Braswell. Woo!
Yeah,
that seems high. What'd you play it at, man?
I think it opened like 77. And then there were some low 70s. And this has only come down. Now he's gotten 90 plus 3 games in a row. Those were against 3 defenses that I don't respect it anywhere in the realm of Bam. And as you said, the pressure on the quarterback, I think they're really going to get after Daniels in this one. So I'd still lean that way. I don't want to give it out because it played significantly off what it is, but I would still lean at especially at those 64.5. So you got access there, like the under in terms of rushing yardage, because as BP said, a couple of sacks, it would really take a lot of attempts or a massive explosive play to hit this if you take a few sacks in this game.
Yeah, maybe I should do some more player props because that makes a lot of sense. So was that franchise play there, or is that Joey Knish play?
That was a no, actually, I think he found it first. I was gonna. That's one.
Makes sense though.
I take credit. That's not one of the personal. So yeah, he alerted me to that one first. So.
All right, but no, I love that. Makes a hell of a lot of sense. That was my first reaction. I was like, wow, that's high. Burt Brownie's in the chat. At what point does Washington become a buy, or do we just stay away from the Huskies? I think it's an in-game play. Whether you like Washington or USC, it's a total in the mid-70s. There's going to be some huge ebbs and flows in that game where one team's up 10 points or 14 points, and you can swing back in. It's a lot like the Cal USC game where, that's how I treat it. I do think the sharp money was on USC at above a field goal. I agree with that, but 3 is the right number. Don't you agree with that or no?
I agree with you. At the right number, I thought it was, I know some sharp people bought up USC when there was, I think there were 4.5 out there,
Yeah.
3.5. And now there was some buyback on Washington at 2.5. I will say you have to be concerned with how Washington's looked the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A couple of Kool-Aid articles out there. Penix, I'm finally feeling like myself. Zach, and I'll give my buddy Missouri Dane credit for finding this one. He's a loyal listener of the show. If you go Nate McMillan or Jalen, Nate McMillan, that's not the Celtics coach. Jalen McMillan, the old Atlanta
Too many sports.
Jalen McMillan receiving yardage in this one. Yeah, under there at 79.5, 80.5. This is the third time this year he's tried to come back from this, this recurrent injury he's got. He played like 7 snaps the first time, 12 snaps the second time. I would be shocked if he wasn't on some type of snap count in this game. They've also incorporated Giles Jackson and, obviously, the other guys. So I just don't see a scenario where like he's going to get full usage or snap count in this one. So like the under 88.5 there, it would just surprise me for his third time coming back. If he even gets in the game, like, are they going to play him, 50, 60, 70 snaps? That would be hard for me to see. So you can lock that one in there because that was about what we played it at in that one. And as I said, my boy Costco Dane there giving the credit for that one in a group chat earlier. And I'll have one more to finish the show.
All right. Love the tease. So McMillan, Washington wide receiver, under 79.5. There's the even 80.5 out there for a prop. One more coming up, at least. Any Hawaii, Nevada plays from Austin M in the chat.
The Hawaii team.
A lot of money coming out of Hawaii. I don't agree with it. You give me 3, I'm laying it with Nevada. I think Kurt Forman Nevada is fine.
The early Hawaii money that they won me, I've given all back on them. So,
yeah, well, it's 3.5. I'd still lean Nevada even at 3.5. I just think their current form is so much better than Hawaii. And by current form, I mean last couple of games. Hawaii was horrific against San Jose State.
I don't listen, and we've talked about like Hawaii going on the road. We don't like them. As you said, like a goose egg versus San Jose State's defense. I don't know what is like. I haven't, deep dived enough to know like why this Hawaii second half collapse is going into it as much. But yeah, they're a stay away team for me. Even though market seems to be buying some of the prices, I'm good because I agree. Totally different direction in terms of the trajectory of these teams the last few weeks. So I'm out on the Bows.
DT plus the points, Ivy League. Yeah, I lean Dartmouth. Nothing wild there. Knish played a little over on that game tonight. Nothing big though. That screams like great value. Bob in the chat, Arkansas fired their OC. Yay, we're getting to this game. Fired their OC last week, Dan Enos. How does something like that factor in your into your betting? Well, obviously it's always a case by case basis, but in this case, addition by subtraction. I almost blew that. Addition by subtraction. They had to get rid of Enos. It was a terrible hire to begin with. A lot of positivity, as there should be with Kenny Guyton. They've eliminated 30% of the playbook. They're going to run a little bit more tempo. We've seen a little bit of over money this week. Under money, though, the last 24 hours. A lot of Arkansas money. Holy hell. I mean, 3-point move here in the last 24 hours to the point where I'm going to chalk it up as a loss already. I got +6. It's a loser. Where are you at here? We playing over? What are we doing here?
Listen, I like it at over. And you know what? Played early over. It's gotten bought back. But I think now it's back in the playable range of like the over here. And I agree. I mean, I know multiple groups that were hitting Arkansas for anything from 6 to 4 to, I mean, it's just been one-way money. I do think they're going to go back to, I don't want to call it the full Kendall Briles Arkansas offense, but I think there's going to be more tempo, a different style of offense coming out, and I think you'll see them kind of a YOLO, like best effort type of game at Arkansas this week. So that's probably my favorite side is the over back at
best bet over 49.
Yeah, I'm in. 48
right.
and a half, 49 out there, whatever you can get, I'm in on it. And obviously some people disagree. And if you're using Arkansas's season-long data, I can see why you would disagree because they're slow as hell and their offense has been terrible recently. But I think this is more of a game script or whatever you want to call it. You're hoping that the change in OC is leading to a lot more tempo and hopefully a lot more success.
There we go. Best bet total. Like it. I like Arkansas to win the game, to be honest with you. But it does worry me that everybody thinks that now all of a sudden. It's DW in the chat. OU minus 5.5. Yeah, we talked this one. Yeah, that would be the lean there at 5.5. Nothing big. I think Knish agrees with that. OU at 5.5. This line would have been 10 a few weeks ago. Joey in the chat. Rutgers' second best pass defense in the country. Can they hang within 19? I did not bet this game. Have you done anything here? It's been sitting right around that dead 19 number all week.
I'm leaning Rutgers. I haven't pulled the trigger either, but I was close on this one and
kind of 20 or what?
Waiting to see. Yeah, I was hoping for just a little bit more OSU. I kind of agree with that. Now the Rutgers passing offense is, and are they going to be able to move the ball on Ohio State?
They're get 14 points here. What they have? I mean, come on.
I hear you. I just haven't gotten there. Maybe it won't. If it gets a little more, I do agree with you. I see a 20. I think I'm in. But I haven't gotten there yet.
Irish guy, he's taking a step further. Rutgers money line. I'm not there. No way.
I'm not.
No. This Buckeye defense is legit, folks.
I'm just letting you know. We're not there. They're not there yet.
Yeah, I don't like Kyle McCord, but the Buckeyes defense is legit this year. UVA season win under 3.5. Gonna be the death of me. Thought we were good after 0-5. Yeah, I mean the Miami game, I have 4.5, and I thought I'm dead. I'm gonna lose under 4.5 on this team. That much improved. What are we doing this week in this game? Virginia, Georgia Tech. Virginia now a slight favorite in this one. Multiple groups on the over.
Yeah.
Did see some under buyback. It got up as high as like 58, and market's been under since then. Did you take part in any of the over money here?
Early overplay, but I think it was one of those where it was like boom, 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 hitting. And when it's up, 4, 5, 6 points, you got to expect some under buyback at some point, even just with people trading, middling it. So I figured it would come in there. I kind of lean to the Georgia Tech side of things, but I haven't gotten.
I do too.
You know what? I haven't gotten too invested on the side. One that it's funny. One of the largest season win positions I had was a juiced UMass over 2.5. And I tell you what, if they lose this week to Merrimack, I'm out on the Don Brown era. And I'm going to be one of those. I'm going to go, Connor to be flying to the game, be Connor Stallions and be yelling at Don, one of the 40 people in the stands yelling at Don Brown. So that is one of the crossover games that I'll have my eye on, because I tell you what, if UMass blows this for me, because I laid some juice on the 2.5, like minus 150, and so yeah, that's the win total I got my eye on this week. That'll be I'll be paying it. I'll be the only one watching that Merrimack UMass game tomorrow, because that's the last shot for 3.
Call me or Hitman. You could have got 1.5. Be already.
I know you could have got. I had to run. I late to the window. I might have even played that after like week 1. I got to see when I played that, but I
think you might have got 1.5 when you're saying your price. The prices you're telling me, I think you might have gotten some 1.5. It was up there for a while.
I got. You know what? I got to go look in the pending ticket safe. Hopefully you're right. Either way, I know I bet both.
Yeah, they're going to be a double-digit favorite over Merrimack. They should be okay. There, Arthur in the chat. This is a battle in the marketplace. Arizona plus 2.5. Wait till 3. Oof! A lot of groups love UCLA minus 2.5. A lot of buyback on plus 3. I just played the under. I'm sitting out the side.
Yeah, I you know what? And it's one of those. It's exactly what I tell you. At 3.5, play Arizona. At 2.5, play UCLA. So it's just one of those. When you see a traded game like that, so we've said this for a few games this week. When you see a game that's traded both ways like that, a big game, I think just the number is right, depending on what side of the number. Like right there at the flat 2, I'm only playing UCLA. At the 3.5, I'm only playing Arizona. So yeah, I think this one's just about right.
Grant in the chat. Penn State only 8.5. Yeah, only 8.5 because a lot of groups are on Maryland here. I'm not though. I know Tailgate Tent, friend of the program, loves Maryland. I don't. I'm out. I don't like Penn State that much either, though.
Yeah, I needed the full. I wouldn't play it anymore. I agree. I kind of needed the full. I understand why I played the 10 there.
Yeah.
8.5 though. I'm not. You know what? It's a Maryland team that's been underwhelming in a lot of instances, but it's a Penn State offense that is horrible. And then you know what? A lot of their early turnover luck and special teams plays and defensive touchdowns made their ATS record and their cover look really good. The offense pretty miserable. You know what? As we told you in the spring.
Maryland win total, I bet over 6.5. 5-0 start. Hey, they got Northwestern, Illinois Northwestern on deck. We're going to cash this one. Nope. They got Nebraska and Michigan still. And they lose this week. I mean, I'm dead. Grant in the chat. Ole Miss -3 seems too easy. I agree. But I still lean towards Ole Miss at 3. And at 2.5, it's a definite buy for me on Ole Miss. Are you part of this A&M money train?
I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna log in here and click the 2.5 because I see one. And I'm gonna go bet it. And I know that's not widely available, but Joey K is gonna get himself some 2.5. I was kind of waiting on this one to see where it went. And hold on, we're 2 seconds here, and I'm in on 2.5. So there you go. That's the side I like. That's the kind of number I was looking for. We got it. I'm in.
Hold off on that. I think you might see some more 2.5s.
Okay.
Reading the tea leaves on the market. No, not that I'm putting A&M money in.
All right.
I was reading some of the leading indicators. The Bovada lean earlier today. Have you heard any whispers of this? They are like freaking Pinnacle was 10 years ago right now. I'm not joking. Yeah, it's like that. Bovada.
Because if you have they take like, this is getting into the weeds for people, but I know some people like this stuff. Like, you have a clean Bovada account, they take a lot on like a standard Bovada. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, hey, the Bovada. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we'd get here? The Bovada lead.
Yeah. Mike in the chat. Thoughts Georgia State plus 5.5. I didn't bet this one. Dead number-ish. I lean towards Georgia State, believe it or not. I think the noose gets tighter when you get in November and you're unbeaten for these group of 5 teams, the Liberties, the James Madison's of the world. We saw James Madison, struggle last week, but didn't get to the window. Did you?
No, there's kind of a real mix. I know Circus trading 6.5 right now. There's a lot of 5.5s out there.
Circling.
Yeah, circling on this one. So, but I didn't get to the window on this one either. To be honest with you, I kind of leaned JMU early. Now at this number, not so much, but didn't really fire either way. And I know there's been total got kind of bet up a little bit, coming back down. So, yeah, I haven't gotten too much in here. Yeah, the river, the old candy lean.
Oh my God, that's funny. Matthew in the chat, any thoughts on look at Michigan Penn State? Showing Michigan -7 on DK.
I tell you,
I'd bet Penn State probably.
I
7.
I regret not. And I even told people, and I was wrong on this one when there was some like 3.5, 4.5. I said, it was a little high. At 7. Now the problem being that you saw what happened when Penn State went up against a real defense at Ohio State. Now, but at 7 at home, I agree. I haven't though. I haven't just because, man, with some of the, I don't know if I'm getting too narrative-y, but I hate this Penn State offense and Franklin, and like they go up against real teams, and it's just, they seem like they get flatly outcoached every single time.
Yeah, watch that. 7 seems like a lot, and then they'll go out and lose to Maryland in the game. It'll be more than 7. Oof. We'll see. There's another oof. Joey in the chat. Tennessee plays their best game against Georgia almost every year. Yeah, I don't know. I bet Georgia in last year's matchup, the first game Georgia covered when Tennessee was number 1 in the playoff committee. I don't have too many thoughts on that. Look at it. That's a couple weeks away. Tennessee plays at Missouri next week. That'll be a tough game. So too early for me there. Anyone
get any involved in Georgia, Missouri?
Yeah, I lean towards Georgia. I don't know. It just cries the Kentucky-Florida situation. The sharp groups, anything above 14, let's take Kentucky, let's take Florida, and then Georgia, unlike the non-conference slate, is dialed the hell in. And I mean, they look really good. They look good. That first half last week was that's what it looks like, folks. That's the two-time defending national champs. I mean that there's not many performances as good like that this entire year. So I know I lean over. I know there's some groups on the over. I agree with that. I lean Georgia as well.
Yeah, at where it's
We have a
gotten now.
head-to-head in Georgia, Missouri. That's what Zach's telling me.
Wait.
You remember this? Yeah, I think we did. You took 15. I laid 15. 16. Holy shit. Well,
All right.
Winner. Yeah, he was like, well, what was it? Oh,
I was going to say,
yeah.
wait a second. Did I, what number did I end? Yeah, I got to tell you, and I know it's, if you got to juice 14, to be honest, I'd lean Georgia now as well at price. But, yeah, I don't, again, wouldn't have much, kind of where it's trading at the moment, and agree with you, kind of lean on the over.
All right, head to head there. Interesting. You got the best of me there. Good luck with your CLB. Overworked out for you. Zach in the chat. Anyone see the -2.5 Oregon look ahead for next week with USC at Maeve Dason shop last night? So bet online.
Must have just been a line error there that they had up.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully Dave does you a solid and grades it for you.
Yeah. Dave's good though.
Yeah,
I don't like taking advantage. I gotta be honest with you. I took advantage of him one time as a Michigan-Tennessee NCAA tournament game. He opened the wrong team favored. I took advantage. I lost my fucking ass. I mean, it was off 10 points. Lost. Grant, Michigan State, LSU, and USC round robin. No for me because I can't have Michigan State in there.
Yeah, I'm not.
You like Alabama over LSU.
Yeah. So yeah, no.
Do you have any round robins? I'll give you a few.
Oh.
That I like Boise State, obviously. Too small a dog there, probably though. Trying to think what else we got. We like Middle Tennessee, right? Middle Tennessee. No.
Yeah. No, I just heard Tennessee. Middle Tennessee.
No, Middle
absolutely.
Tennessee.
I tell you what. And Joey K's been wrong before, and I know your guy, Mr. Muscles, gave out New Mexico State. Middle Tennessee at 3 and a hook.
Game of the year.
I'll pay to be wrong on this one, folks, because I can't believe New Mexico State. My boys in Las Cruces, and I tell you, I can't believe they're laying 3.5 here. I think you're getting the better team at 3.5, and you're not gonna. Middle Tennessee off a longer bye week. I know we gave this one out on Monday. I'll tell you, I got a big position on Middle Tennessee. I'll pay to see it, folks. If New Mexico State wins and we're going to the ship, fantastic. But I'll be down a lot of money this week because I can't believe this is still trading 3.5. I'm surprised that people haven't bought
a lot of people. Connolly likes, not that he moves markets. He loves New Mexico State. SP Plus loves New Mexico State.
Yeah, if it was 2018, I'd be a little more concerned about that. So for the moment, I like Middle Tennessee.
I don't know if there's a lot. I like Boise. I think Arkansas is a decent qualifier just because there's some variance there with the new OC. Anything else?
Talk about Illinois or there's still some.
Yeah, Illinois. That's a good one.
Illinois out there.
Yeah, nothing big though. Georgia Tech, maybe. I don't know. These are small dogs though. Nothing really wild there. Any updated win totals you're interested in? Colorado under 5.5. I would play under 5.5.
I think it's way juiced though now. Depending on
okay.
Yeah, it might. I think it was way juiced, but I agree. If you got a reasonable juice, 5.5 for sure.
Yeah. So about 70 cents for a half win. So as long as it wasn't trading too crazy, like in the 200s. Other than that, I think that'd be okay. We are anti-Colorado on this show. NP, I can't even say it. Thanks for the Twitter shout out on Monday, boys. Glad that Knish enjoyed the Purdue joke. Also, any thoughts on Hawaii plus 3.5? Not there yet. Market loves Hawaii. There's some sharp guys that I trust that are on Hawaii. I'm out on Hawaii, though.
No, especially now that it's been bet down a bit. It would be a pass for me.
Jack bets Oregon minus 24.5. I'm out there. I like the over, but I got to check the weather.
I've been wanting to ask you about your Cal. I know some people that laid 23 in this one, which I even wasn't that big on. I can't get to.
You like Cal? Best bet?
I can't get to. I mean, there's some like.
I can't. I'm Mr. Cal. I don't know. I guess I'm done because I'm going to lose the win total. So, I don't know.
I know.
4.5. I mean, I would lean Cal. I would tell you that.
I agree. I can only play Cal at this price. I haven't gotten it, but I think this is rich now.
Ryan in the chat, Arizona State plus 11 or Indiana plus 9.5. Interesting. Liam's also talking about this Utah-Arizona State game, minus 11. Power rings like Utah. Market loves Arizona State. Where are you here?
It's a very conflict, like one of these games where, Arizona State's been on this run. You're like, how could they be getting 11 at Utah? Who's, looked this is one that I tell you what.
28 2 weeks ago against Washington on a neutral. Washington 17 over Utah. Woo! Game of the year, Utah.
Tell you,
there's been some adjustments on Arizona State.
And I know that Oregon just went into Rice Eccles and laid a smackdown. Yeah. This is not the same type of experienced and physical team that that can go into Utah and I think replicate that performance. So yeah, I have nothing in this game, and it's one I'm kind of was hoping to stay away from.
Yeah, tough laying this kind of totals down to like 39. They keep betting the under. I lean Utah. Indiana, you need 10 on Indiana. Braylon Allen might be out. They might be down to third string running back, but nothing wild there. Did you play any Indiana early in the week?
I played a little bit of 10. I agree with you, though. We need the 10. It's just been I thought their offense, and again, it had a little bit of success versus Penn State, but then of course they give up 3. So yeah, I get it'd be one of those. If you can get a 10, play it.
William in the chat, he's got a couple. SMU minus 12 against Rice, Western Kentucky minus 9 against UTEP. Of the two, I would probably prefer SMU. I just think defensively the team's legit. Although I'm not wild about either one. Are you?
No, and I know this is they've SMU taking a little bit of money while we've been on here. Some 13s flashing, but no, it's not one that fading. Rice has been a little bit.
Rice has been pesky. Rice is way better than what I thought this year.
So, and I know SMU is just crushed. It's also in there, but no, it's not one that I would be looking to lay it now, especially the current prices.
Shane Lesko in the chat. Mississippi State plus 6. Is it up to 6? We gave out Kentucky the best bet on Monday.
Yeah, it got bought back a bit. Jack, we'll go. We got an hour in. We'll go Joey props here. Zach, go to Devin Leary passing yardage in this one for Kentucky here. Yeah, because he had a lot of early performances that weren't great. And then by all accounts, 215.5 isn't over there. Obviously, if you can get it at Stool or 365 for a better juice, like it there. But to be honest, I mean, I even would still play that 140 there. And I know I wish it was a little bit more. Some of the places didn't post props for this game, but he's way healthier. It's a Mississippi State pass defense that's gross. I think, to be honest with you, and I know there was some buyback, I kind of think Kentucky lays it to him in this one. And Leary has a nice game, and I would be surprised if Mississippi State with the Mike Wright offense is able to even keep pace here. So this is one of those opportunity to look stupid. I think Kentucky wins this game by multiple scores.
Well, we hope so. We gave it out on Monday, and the rest of the market agreed with Knish. He laid it 3.5. He said that was his favorite bet. Good job. William in the chat, UNLV minus 10.5 against New Mexico. I didn't play it. Tough laying that number with UNLV on the road, but they cover everything. So I don't know. I didn't play it. Did you?
Not one I played either. Would probably lean that way. New Mexico's been it's kind of a thorn in the side there too. Some of these Mountain West teams, so the variance in these games has been, it's like the new MAC. Like it just absolutely, absolutely insane. Like 1 week, Nevada wins 6-0 at San Diego State. Next week, Hawaii loses, scored 0. Just a lot of variance in this conference week to week. So nothing for me on that one.
Yeah, Wyoming looks like world beaters 1 week.
Yep.
They got destroyed last week. Tyler in the chat. Here we go. Fading Prime, the Beavers minus 13.5. Interested in your take. Tout Service got involved on this one a few hours ago. What'd you think of that? What'd you think of Prime firing basically Sean Lewis? What a move.
Interesting. Like, as we're on here, there's been some Colorado buyers, as there always is. And we've seen it go like some 12.5s at Circa, at BOL out there now. So I don't know what. Listen, and I tweeted this earlier. I think he is making an impulse decision as a dad and not a coach here of like his son is getting beat to hell every game. He's taking a ton of sacks and they're going to try and run a little bit more conservative, whatever the hell Pat Shurmur's trying to run on offense and maybe run some more, 12, 13 personnel, get it. And again, that's a terrible idea. I don't know why they would ever do that. But it makes me also kind of lean under in this one now. For an Oregon State team that's a little bit slower on the pace. So I played a little under on that news. But I'm not bad. I don't know these people bet. I'm not betting Colorado. I could only lay it with the Beavs here. So
they were fortunate to cover, and it wasn't because necessarily the back door. I mean, UCLA's 4 turnovers played a big part in why that wasn't a 24-point loss last week. Oof. We'll see. I like Oregon State. I think they smash them. I hope they do too. For other reasons other than betting them. Zach in the chat. Who's betting Jacksonville State to keep that line at 14.5 to 15.5? I don't know. Probably, the modeling guys. Because a lot of the models don't factor in strength of schedule, in my opinion, appropriately. Where are you at here? I gave out Jacksonville.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I agree with you. Obviously, we played a little early South Carolina. South Carolina's been a team where when they don't go up against a great pass rush and they can kind of throw it around, they've been much better. And Jacksonville State's a team that has no passing attack for the most part. So I think the matchup here is okay. As long as you're getting a reasonable effort from South Carolina, I think they take care of business here. Even I know this is trade. It's kind of been 14.5 to 15.5 most of the places, depending on where you shop. But I'd still lean that way. If you can do like a 14, juice 14, I'd still lean on South Carolina there.
Where's that? Yeah, I see that. If I said Jacksonville State, I played South Carolina. If I misspoke there, South Carolina for me. Will Black in the chat. He's got 3. Cincy plus 3.5. Temple plus 7. BC plus 3. Like BC plus 3. Is that back to 3? Because that was 2.5 before we came on. Cincy plus 3.5. Cannot bet Cincy. Just cannot. I don't like UCF. And Temple plus 7. I can see it with Warner back, but I prefer the over there.
I did end up on some Temple at the 7. I missed the original news when the Warner was back, and it went to 6.5. And I said, threw it, and I got back to 7, and I'm in. So I agree with their rush defense, trash. So does that concern me? Obviously. But I tell you what, and that's another one where like money line round robin. We didn't mention this one. I think Temple, they're live here. So again, they could give up 600 rushing yards and everything, but it's a totally different team with Warner back and the ability to throw it around. And of the service academies, I think Navy's had the worst transition in terms of like their offense this year. So I like Temple at the TD.
I like that money line with the variance there. That a lot. Sharp by you, as always. Detroit Golf City. Hi, guys. Religiously listening to the podcast. Had to jump in and ask about action next week. Attending Western Michigan, Central Michigan. Sorry if you guys touched on this.
Is that a sellout? Well, you attended the old fire up, the rivalry, fire up Chips versus the Broncos. Don't know a lot of people that went to both these schools. We laid an early to let them know that doesn't exist anymore. On both the sides.
We ruined the market.
Yeah,
that's okay. I could see Western Michigan taking any more money. Keep in mind, that number kept going up and up and up last week with Central Michigan at home against Northern Illinois. Ended up being wrong, But Northern Illinois did claw back in that game and had a chance to win the game. They had the ball down 6 late. This Western Michigan team is way better than I anticipated. Speaking of win total that I thought was a sure thing, under 4.5, I'm going to sweat that one out. They might win 5.
Yeah, I would say wait on this one. I'll wait till the market opens up here. Maybe you get a little, depending on what happens here, you get a little better. So
yeah, you get better than 5. I think it opens probably 3.5, 4-ish. Is that would you agree there?
Yep.
Zach, let's pull it up. Let's recap the best bets. Was there anything that we missed that you were looking to add?
I don't think I had any other late adders there as far as getting in on. I think that was pretty. Oh, I wanted to get your Notre Dame Clemson take though. One of the big ones that we haven't touched on, because I tell you what, and I know we had a little disagreement on look. If a 3.5 popped at.
Yeah, wait for 3.5. Take Clemson 3.5.
I agree. I listen. Nobody has been. I know we usually argue at the Notre Dame, but at 3.5, I got to play it. I just don't think that the Notre Dame offense justifies that kind of margin. So.
No, they don't. I think Clemson's defense. I mean, team total Notre Dame too. I think I'd go under. I'm just waiting for more 3.5s to show up. There's one there at FanDuel, and I think once maybe Will Shipley gets announced officially out. And some other things. Clemson's a little bit banged up. I'm a little worried, though. A couple of starters on the offensive line might be out.
Yeah.
Under for me as well. Notre Dame team total under. I'll probably attack this a bunch of different ways, but 3.5 Clemson. That's a bet I made this week. Probably sneak a little money line, too. I think they're fired up. I can't lay that with Notre Dame on the road. So we'll see. Tout Service will have Clemson plus 3.5 if it becomes widely available. That's how much I like it. Let's bring up the best bets, recap them. Over 49, Arkansas, Florida. Arkansas changing the tempo with the new OC. We gave that out today. UAB +1. That was today. Middle Tennessee plus 3.5. Good job by Knish there, getting that hook on the important number on Monday's show. Devin Leary was today. Props. Had his best passing performance last week. Mississippi State's defense, no good. Kentucky, great pick by Knish. Again, 3.5 on Monday. McMillan, banged up, under 80.5 receiving yards. Limited snaps there. Boise State was me on Monday morning, plus 3.5. Right now, 2.5 through the key number. So there we go.
Hate the portfolio.
I'm going to go neutral this week. I'm going to go totally different and say neutral.
Yeah. Very, the mayonnaise of portfolio. Very moderate portfolio this week.
That's okay. Yeah. So, it's fine. I like that. Anything else? Closing thoughts? Any Michigan final thoughts? Any Detroit Lions final thoughts?
Listen, Lions on bye this week, resting up, and hopefully, by Monday's show, Harbaugh hasn't been given, the death penalty or anything. So, fun, and Connor Stallions is, still alive. So, it'll be an interesting story to follow, and, HP regular portfolio this week. Fine portfolio.
Honestly, though, I mean, you saw some of the CLV on some of that stuff. Come on. Sooner or later, we got to start winning this stuff consistently. My goodness. That is Joey Knish, the man, the myth, the legend himself, for producer extraordinaire. Guys, thanks for tuning in and watching today. And make sure for all the show updates, you're following us on Twitter, X, whatever you kids are calling it these days, at Hit the Books HQ and at the Hammer HQ. You just watched Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network.